Medieval Indian paintings. Miniature paintings are executed on a very small scale for books or albums on perishable materials such as paper and cloth. In India, the Pala miniature paintings, which date back to 11th century, are the earliest evidences of miniature painting tradition. In due course of time, the different schools of miniature painting emerged in different geographical locations across the country. The 10th century illustrated Buddhist text, Prajnaparamita, is the earliest known example of painting where a canvas of micro or miniature size made its debut. However, the golden period for miniature paintings was the 16th century, when various schools of paintings were provided patronage by the Mughals, rulers of Deccan and Malwa, and Hindu chieftains of Rajasthan. This led to the development of important schools of paintings such as Mughal, Rajput and Deccan schools. The Mughal paintings of India had included the elements of Hindu, Persian and European styles. The Tutinama and Hamzanama was important works accomplished during the reign of Akbar. Jahangir is known to have focused on specialization and study of nature. Aurangzeb almost banned painting at his court. This forced Mughal artists to migrate to various provinces, where the Mughal art transformed into the provincial Mughal style. One of the most important reasons that so many artistic traditions flourished in India during the Mughal era was the political stability and vital social and economic structures. Rajasthan witnessed the development of several regional schools of painting during this time like Mewar, Bundikota Kalam, Jaipur, Bikaner, Kishangarh and Marwar schools. The miniature paintings depicted themes such as court scenes, gardens, forests, palaces, hills and valleys, deserts, life of Lord Krishna, love scenes, hunting scenes, and animal fights. Other important components of Rajasthani miniatures are Ragmala, representing ragas in classical music, Gita Govinda, Ramayana, and Bhagavad Puran. The Rajput paintings are known for having absorbed many elements of the Mughal style, mainly due to the growing alliances between the Rajput kingdoms and Mughals. Around the same time, the hill regions of northern India including Basoli, Gular, Kangra, Bilaspur, Kullu, and Mandi saw the emergence of Pahari school. Then, the Kangra school of painting becoming noticeable in 18th century. The Kangra school, though influenced by Rajasthani and Mughal miniatures, had developed its own distinctive style. Pala school of paintings, the Pala Empire, 750-1174 CE, is known for its excellence towards the art and sculptures. This era witnessed the last great phase of Buddhism and of the Buddhist art in India. This empire is known for a distinctive form of Buddhist art known as the Pala School of Sculptural Art. The gigantic structures of Vikramshila, Vihara, Udantapuri Vihara, and Jagdadla Vihara were masterpieces of the Palas. It is said that these mammoth structures were mistaken by the forces of Bakhtiyar Khilji as fortified castles and were demolished. The Pala king Dharmapala had established the Sompura Mahavihara, which is largest Buddhist vihara in the Indian subcontinent. This site, located now in Bangladesh, is a World Heritage Site since 1985. About Pala School of Art. Pala School represents the earliest examples of miniature painting in India. The Buddhist monasteries, Mahaviharas of Nalanda, Udantapuri, Vikramshila, and Somarupa were great centers of Buddhist learning and art. The paintings are in the form a large number of manuscripts on palm leaf relating to the Buddhist themes. The images of Buddhist deities at these centers, which also had workshops for the casting of bronze images. Students and pilgrims from all over Southeast Asia gathered there for education and religious instruction. They took back to their countries examples of Pala Buddhist art in the form of bronzes and manuscripts which helped to carry the Pala style to Nepal, Tibet, Burma, Sri Lanka, and Java, etc. The extant illustrated manuscripts of Pala Empire mostly belong to the Vajrayana school of Buddhism. Features of painting's Pala style is naturalistic and resembles the ideal forms of contemporary bronze and stone sculpture, and reflects some feeling of the classical art of Ajanta. The best example is the manuscript of the Astasahasrika Prajnaparamita. After the Muslim invasions, many of the monks and artists escaped and fled to Nepal, which helped in reinforcing the existing art traditions there. Mughal School of Paintings. Origin of Mughal school is a landmark in history of Indian paintings. The school originated in the reign of Akbar. The origin of Mughal style was a result of synthesis of indigenous Indian style of painting and the Safvid school of Persian painting. Mughal paintings were a unique blend of Indian, Persian and Islamic styles. The major features of Mughal schools are paintings based upon close observation of nature, fine and delicate drawing along with calligraphic text descriptions, generally on border, high aesthetic merit, primarily aristocratic, mostly secular. Development of Mughal school of paintings under Akbar. The reign of Akbar is known for the initial works of Mughal school done by Mir Sayyid Ali and Abdus Samad Khan. These two artists were originally employed by Humayun. Apart from this celebrated duo, more than 100 painters were employed, most of whom were Hindus from Gujarat, Gwalior and Kashmir. The collected and constant efforts of these artists gave birth to a new school of painting, popularly known as the Mughal school of miniature paintings. The two most celebrated works accomplished during the times of Akbar was Tutinama and Hamzanama. Tutinama seems to be the first work of the Mughal school. Tutinama literally means the tales of a parrot. It is an illustrated compilation of 52 stories in 250 miniature paintings. The work was commissioned by Akbar. The themes and stories are derived from the 12th century Sanskrit anthology titled Sukha Saptati or 70 Tales of Parrot. The parrot tells the 52 stories in the consecutive 52 nights, and in these stories he teaches some moral stories to his owner. The work was completed in a span of 5 years under Mir Sayyid Ali and Abdus Samad. The text was written by Naqshbandi, an ethnic Persian physician and a Sufi saint who had migrated to Badayu. It was wrote in Persian. Hamzanama, a more refined and developed work, is the Hamzanama, which contains the illustrations on cloth, originally consisting of 1,400 leaves in 17 volumes. Each leaf measured about 27 x 20. These paintings were based upon a Persian Hamzanama or Dastani Amir Hamza. Amir Hamza was the uncle of the Prophet of Islam. Hamza Nama was an extremely fanciful story, which was disliked by Babur, but was so much enjoyed by his grandson Akbar that he commissioned the court workshop to create an illustrated manuscript on this fable, and that took 14 years to complete. These illustrations went beyond the storytelling and brought into existence some dazzling images, glowing with jewel-like colors. The initial paintings show the Persian Sufi style with brilliant red, blue and green colors predominating. The later works show Indian tones. Mughal school under Jahangir. The Mughal school paintings acquired greater charm, refinement and dignity. The Emperor Jahangir had a great fascination for nature and took delight in the portraiture of birds, animals and flowers. The best example of this period is the portrait of Jahangir himself, who is shown holding a picture of the Virgin Mary in his right hand. Some other illustrated manuscripts of Jahangir's time are animal fable book titled Ayaragnish, Anvarai Sunavli. Most of the paintings created during the time of Jahangir depict the Darbar scenes, portraits, bird, animal and flower studies. Aka Rija, Abul Hasan, Mansoor, Bishan Das, Manohar, Govardhan, Balchand, Daulat, Mukhlis, Bhim and Inayat were the famous painters in the court of Jahangir. Ustad Mansoor was a court artist of Jahangir who specialized in depicting plants and animals. He is best known for two paintings, one of which was a Siberian crane and another was of a Bengal florican. He is also remembered for a famous painting on dodo, the now extinct bird. Bishandas. Out of the above-mentioned painters, Bishandas was praised by the emperor as unrivaled in the art of portraiture. In 1613, Bishandas was sent on a diplomatic mission to Persia to paint the Shah's portrait. He remained there for 7 years and returned happily with an elephant as gift. Development of provincial Mughal school inspired by their overlord, the Mughal courtiers and the provincial officers started patronizing the artists trained in the Mughal technique of painting. At the same time, we have been told that Jahangir had a passion for perfect artists. The artists with inferior merits lost their jobs and sought employment in the provinces. Thus, during those times, the artists who were employed in the imperial government were known as the first-grade artists. The works accomplished by these first-grade artists is known as the imperial Mughal painting. But the artists available to the provinces were of inferior merit. Thus, the works accomplished in the provinces was known as popular Mughal or provincial Mughal painting, which possessed all the important characteristics of the imperial Mughal painting with some inferior quality. The example paintings of the provincial Mughal paintings are Rajamnama, Rasikapriya and Ramayana, all of which were created in the initial 2 decades of 17th century. Mughal school of painting under the Shah Jahan. The refined quality of the Mughal school was maintained under the reign of Shah Jahan. Importance was given to portraiture. Under Aurangzeb and later Mughals, Puritan King Aurangzeb did not encourage art, and thus much of the quality of the Mughal painting was lost. This was the time of mass migration of court artists to provinces. Later, Bahadur Shah tried to revive the art, but after him, the school became lifeless and worthless, much like the later Mughals. Deccani schools of paintings. The turbulent medieval times saw an exodus of artists to the south. These artists were patronized by the regal houses over there, and gradually, 3 distinct schools of art developed, viz. Deccani, Mysore and Tanjore. The miniature painting style, which flourished initially in the Bahmani court and later in the courts of Ahmednagar, Bijapur and Golconda, is popularly known as the Deccan school of painting. Evolution of the Deccani paintings. The Deccani painting initially absorbed influences of the northern tradition of the pre-Mughal painting of Malwa and of the southern tradition of the Vijayanagar school of painting. This school was rather known for murals and frescoes, and not the miniatures, and it also influenced the Mysore and Tanjore schools of paintings. These influences are evident in the treatment of female types and costumes in the earliest Deccani paintings. The above statement also implies that the Deccani school developed independent of the Mughal style in the beginning, but later, as the Mughal artists started migrating to down south, the schools of Deccan show the influence of Mughal style. Influence of the Mughal painters who migrated to the Deccan during the period of Aurangzeb was responsible for the development of various other centers of paintings in Deccan, such as Hyderabad school. Tradition of the early Deccani painting continued long after the extinction of the Deccan sultanates of Ahmednagar, Bijapur and Golconda. Main features: the colors of the Deccani school's paintings are rich and brilliant and are different from those of the northern painting. Distinctive features of the Deccani paintings of the 18th and 19th centuries are observed in the treatment of the ethnic types, costumes, jewelry, flora, fauna, landscape, and colors. Notable works: Subschools, Ahmednagar painting, This school was patronized by Hussain Nizam Shah I of Ahmednagar. The important illustrated manuscript is Tarif-i Hussain Shahi. Bijapur paintings. This school was patronized by Ali Adil Shah 1558 to 80 AD and his successor Ibrahim II 1580 to 1627 AD. Important and notable work is Najmul Stars of Sciences, which has as many as 400 miniature illustrations. The court of Sultan Ali Adil Shah I had Persian artists, and that is why these paintings show profuse use of gold color, some flowering plants and arabesques on the top of the throne, derived from the Persian tradition. The maximum number of miniature paintings was produced during the times of Sultan Ibrahim Adil Shah II. It's worth note that some paintings of Bijapur show influence of Lepakshi temple murals, particularly in the depiction of the women. Golconda paintings. The patrons of the Golconda paintings were the Qutb Shahi rulers. The first important work was accomplished during the times of Muhammad Quli Qutb Shah, 1580 to 1611. These paintings show the dancing girls entertaining the VIPs. The Qutb Shahi rulers had employed many Persian artists, and so there is a profound impact of Iranian art on the Golconda miniature paintings. Two more notable paintings are The Lady with the Mime Bird and The Lady Smoking Hookah. Hyderabad style. The paintings in Hyderabad style developed after the foundation of Asafjahi dynasty by Chin-Quli Khan, Nizamul Mulk, in 1724. One example is a painting of princes in the company of maids. Typical characteristics of the Hyderabad painting like the rich colors, the Deccani facial types, and costumes can be observed in the miniature. It belongs to the third quarter of the 18th century. Mysore paintings. The two schools of miniature paintings of South India, with the Mysore paintings and Tanjore paintings, are offshoots of the earlier Vijayanagar school of painting. The Vijayanagar school was basically known for frescoes and murals of the various mythological themes of Hindu deities on the temple walls and ceilings, and was itself inspired by Ajanta. Vijayanagar art includes wall paintings of the Dashatara, the 10 avatars of Vishnu, and the Girij Kalyana, marriage of Parvati, at the Virupaksha temple at Hampi. As soon as the Vijayanagar Empire fell, the painters started migrating to Tanjavur, Mysore, Shahpur and Surpur. Those who migrated to Tanjavur and Mysore came under the heavy influence of other styles, and thus, these two developed as two distinct styles of paintings. Salient features of Mysore paintings. Out of them, Mysore paintings generally depict the Hindu gods and goddesses and scenes from Hindu mythology. This style is also known for the gesso work. Gesso refers to a paste of white lead powder, gambos and glue, and is used as an embossing material covered with gold foils. Gesso work is found in both the Mysore as well as the Tanjore paintings. In Mysore paintings, the work is low in relief and intricate, while in Tanjore school, the gesso work is little thicker. Gesso was used in Mysore painting for depicting intricate designs of clothes, jewelry, and architectural details on pillars and arches that usually framed the deities. The work was taken up in the morning when the base of the gold work on the painting was still moist so as to hold the gold foil firmly. After allowing the painting to dry, glazing was carried out by covering the painting with thin paper and rubbing over it with a soft glazing stone known as Kaslubda Kallu. When the thin paper was removed, the painting shone brightly and looked resplendent with a combination of gold and a variety of colors. Sri Tattvanidhi, the famous example of Mysore school painting, is a manuscript called Sri Tattvanidhi. This is a pictorial digest of 1,500 pages and contains illustrations of gods, goddesses, and mythological figures. Thus, we conclude that Hindu mythology is the dominant theme in the Mysore paintings. Tanjore paintings, the patrons of this art were the Naikas of Tanjore. This school, as mentioned above, was an offshoot of the Vijayanagar school and is known for vibrant colors, opulent surface, and immense use of gold foils. The dominant themes are Hindu gods, goddesses, and saints. These paintings are created on wooden plank, so also known as Palgai Padam, Palgai wooden plank, Padam picture, in local parlance. Current state of Mysore and Tanjore paintings. Both the Tanjore and Mysore school of paintings have a flourishing market in India today, and these paintings are loved by souvenir collectors as part of one's collectibles, the investment angle notwithstanding. The themes in Mysore and Tanjore paintings, stylized modeling of characters chosen from mythology, mainly formed the subject matter. Encompassed in numerous epic tales, Lord Krishna has always remained every Tanjore and Mysore artist's delight apart from other deities. Rajput painting is one of the brightest chapters in the history of Indian miniature painting. These paintings are known for their high quality and finer details. Some call them Rajasthani paintings also, but this nomenclature has varied opinions. In 1916, the famous Ceylonese historian Anand Kumar Swami did the first remarkable scholar work on the classification and nomenclature of Indian paintings. He concluded that the theme of the Rajput paintings is related to Rajputana as well as the hill state of Punjab of that time. Thus, he divided the Rajput paintings into parts viz. Rajasthani, concerning to Rajputana, and Pahadi, concerned to Jammu, Kangra, Garhwal, Basholi and Chamba. Since the rulers of these states were Rajputs, he used the term Rajput paintings for all of them. Thus, here we find two different schools under the Rajput paintings. As Rajasthani school of paintings, it covers the areas of Mewar, later Udaipur, Jaipur, Bundi, Kota, Kishangarh, Jodhpur, Bikaner, etc. Pahadi paintings, it includes paintings of Basoli, Kangra, Gular, Nurpur, Chamba, Mandi, Haripur and Tehri Garhwal. Each of the schools is a complete unit comprising many sub